Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 12th episode. Discover who you are to overcome any crisis with the wonderful Yadira Gonzalez Muñoz. Yadira is a life sculptor. She is a published author, an inspirational speaker, and I have to say, what a speaker that inspires me so much. She's also the founder of I Am Magazine International and Live Free Today. Most of all, Yadira helps women find their I am, which gets me very inspired to learn more. She also guides them to know themselves deeply with courage and to be aligned with their purpose so they can fall in love with themselves. This is simply wonderful, and we all need this to become confident, bold, and happy. As a former preacher, her passion for transforming lives and helping women find balance in their life to live free today is now her mission. And her motto is the greatest and most important adventure of our lives is discovering who we really are. I find this very strong, very empowering, Yade. Can you please tell us about your wonderful mission with your beautiful career as an inspirational speaker? And oh my God, I'm so excited that I have to say welcome first. Welcome, Yade.
Thank you so much. First of all, I am so grateful that you invited me to your show. I am so happy to be here. Thank you so much, honey. I love it. It's so amazing. I remember the first time that we met is like 2 years ago. It was so wonderful when we could meet, hug, kiss. It was amazing. I remember that. I loved it. I am so grateful to be here. Thank you so much.
The
Thank
honor
you
is
so
mine.
much. So how did it started? It actually uh, to inspire people, most of all, to have the power within that you can do so many things and not to allow others to limit your power within. So that's how my inspirational speaking started it. But most of it, why it was that, it was because I want to inspire others that you have the power within. And it all started it because I had a car accident in 2010, and doctors told me I would never walk again. And this is how my story started it. I told my doctor that he was wrong. And as a doctor, he had to do his job. I will do mine, and God will do his. And this is how everything started it. He decided to do his job. He started looking for ways for me to start walking. And I started having, because of him, 19 surgeries. And I started doing my job. God did his job, and I'm still on therapies, of course, but I am walking. So, this is why I became an inspirational speaker. Why? Because I wanted to inspire others that no matter what people are telling you that you can't do things, it's up to you to remember that you are able to do things. Someone told me you are never going to walk again, but hey, I am walking. So do not just allow people to tell you what are you capable of. So that is one of the things. And talking about fear, because I know it's about fear too, don't allow fear to stop you believing what you're capable of doing.
Wow, Yade, I heard your story 2 years ago, and I always get goosebumps. I've heard you speak about this before, and it's getting me to be very grateful, to be more grateful for the privileges that I have, and I'm sure that our listeners are feeling very inspired how you overcame something that the doctor said, which was maybe just his opinion, but as you said, God had other plans, and what plans he had with you. It's amazing. And can you please tell us, Yadira, how was your relationship with fear originally?
Well, actually, I was very fear. I had fear of everything, like making that first step. And that fear stops us, gets us stuck on making that first step of making that decision of making your dreams come true, or um, leaving that job that you don't like, or stepping out of that relationship that is hurting you, or taking all those things that you really want to do. And fear is just pushing you down. So it's always good to, how can I put this? To be fear enough to make that step
Yeah.
and take the decision, to take the right decision. So you know that there are, um, we have the fear fact and the fear fiction. So the fear fact is the one that it says, I am providing a service that I've developed through extensive training and hard work. Or the fear fiction is, I am not assertive, or I am not um, assertive enough. So there are these two fear um, options, and you have to really put them on, like in a balance, and start measuring them. Say, what is the type of fear that I have? Is this the fear that I really want? This is the fear that I am um, facing right now. What type of fear I have at this moment? Is this so much fear that I am avoiding or stalking me, or is this a fear that I really want to make it happen? I am so afraid that um, I am not able to make it happen, or I'm so afraid that I really want to make it. It's like how much fear I have um, to make it happen. So you have these two fear factors. So it's all about confronting your fears. Do you understand what I'm trying to say?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. I love it that you also told me a few days ago about the courage to do the things that you want to do. And could you maybe tell us what is courage to you, my dear?
Courage is the ability to also, like I tell you, make the decision to say, okay, it is enough to live the life that I am living right now, and start living, because I'm going to make an example of myself. Before the accident, I was living a life. I was just living. I was existing. Let's say I was just, okay, I have to work, I have to do this. I was somebody that I was repressed on the past. I was always angry. I was a divorced woman with 3 kids. And I was so upset, so angry, so um always thinking on the past, what if? Why did I get divorced? Why is this happening? And I was angry and upset, and we were carrying all this baggage um, with ourselves. But after the accident, let me say, and I was living, I was working, I was taking care of my kids, I was just living what I had to live.
Surviving.
And yes, just existing, like, okay, I have to do it, I have to take care of my kids, I have to work this work, I have to do it. But I had a dream, but I knew that I could not be, okay, I have a dream, but I cannot do it. I have to work because I have to live. I have to take care of the kids. I cannot make that dream come true. So you're just leaving. You're just make it happen. But you have those things, and the regrets are you're unhappy. But um after my accident, I took the courage to change that. I took the courage to say, I'm gonna live the life I want. I'm gonna start living my life on my on my rules, on my, I'm gonna be happy.
Wow.
Because first of all, I'm gonna tell you something. First of all, happiness is not when you find, y- I'm gonna say this, the love of your dreams, of the man of your dreams, or if you buy a car, or if you buy a house. Happiness is within yourself. And if you are never happy, it's because you haven't found yourself. You have not yet fallen in love with yourself. You haven't found your I am. And this is something that I guide women to find their I am, to fall in love with yourself
Wonderful.
first. The moment that
Wonderful.
you fall in love with yourself, again, you start forgiving yourself from past things. You start forgiving yourself for, why did I got divorced? Why is this happening? You start falling in love with your I am. You start falling in love with things that you believe that happened because it was your fault, and you start forgiving others too, and you start believing in yourself, and you start finding the value that you have, and start getting to know the value that you're supposed to get from others, and the respect that you're supposed to get from others. And that's the moment that you find the courage to say, I have to start living my daily life, enjoying it, being happy every day. For, like I say, I had an accident. Nowadays, before it was like, oh my goodness, it was a terrible, this day is terrible, it's raining, the sun is not shining. Today I wake up and say, the day is gray, it's raining, and I open the curtains and wake up and I say, what a beautiful day today. It's beautiful.
Wonderful.
It doesn't matter if it's raining, it's beautiful. Why? Because you woke up, you open your eyes, and you're alive. It doesn't
Wonderful.
matter. You're alive, and you have to be happy. And that's the courage that you have to make your day beautiful day.
Wow. I'm getting some goosebumps as I hear you talk. You are simply an amazing inspirational speaker. And I have to say that I am a big fan of Yades. And can you please tell us, my dear, about this amazing mission of yours of helping women finding their I am? How is this making you feel maybe even more motivated? Does it fulfill your life even more? Please tell us a bit about this amazing
Yes.
journey.
Yes, like I was telling you the story that before the accident, I was angry, upset, full of guilt, because I was a single mom with 3 kids, and I was always pointing the finger to others. Like, I am angry, or I am divorced, and I am this, and always bitter, a bitter woman, and I was never happy. I was always upset and working, like I tell you, and just living. And after I had the accident, I started, besides the 19 surgeries I had and the therapies that I started to go, and learning to walk, because I had to learn to walk, I had to learn to start writing, I started to learn all these things. I started to learn who I was, what colors I liked. Because I was working all day long, I barely saw my kids. So I started to getting to know them too, what they liked, and sitting down with them. Of course, I was with disability, so I had to be at home all the time, and the hospital and everything. And then I was at home. It was like, okay, who are these kids, and I was like getting to know them, getting to know myself, starting to talk to myself, starting to say, okay, I had to change my wardrobe totally, because I was not working anymore. So I had to change my whole wardrobe, sell all my high heel shoes that I cannot wear anymore, and totally change my everything, and start reinventing myself and reconnecting with myself again, and starting to know, okay, who am I? What do I like? Um, what colors do I like? Do I really like this, or what do I like to eat? It totally started from zero. And not only that, but started forgiving others, forgiving myself, forgiving um, my kids, even asking them for forgiveness, because most of the time I was hurting them from the bitterness that I had inside of me. And I started calling people I hurt, and I started calling people they hurt me, and say, hey, forgive me, or I forgive you. And even I had a lot of pride, I started putting it down, say, I need to change, and I need to change that. And I started discovering my I am, and I started falling in love with myself. And that is something that we do not have. We forget about ourselves, because we are the pillars of the home, and we give everything to everybody else, to our husbands, to our kids, to our home, to cooking, to ironing, to everything. And we forget about ourselves. And we forget to look ourselves in the mirror and say, hey, you're looking beautiful today. I love you. Have you ever looked at the mirror and say to yourself that you love yourself? Roxana.
Yes, I am doing this since a while, but I admit that I'm not doing this on a daily basis, but it has changed the way that I have seen myself in the mirror without complaining about my skin. I remember that
Exactly.
in my early 20s, I would feel the ugliest person in the world. I would see spots and wrinkles, but this was due to a lot of undealt with emotions, as you said, very bitter, angry of life, angry because I had dreams, but I had no idea how to put them in practice. And I blamed everyone else
Ex-
except myself.
Exactly. Exactly. And that is my mission. I want to get to all the women and say, hey, forget about it. Start loving yourself. Start forgiving yourself. Start getting to fall in love with your I am. And most important, who is the great I am? He created us. Start falling in love with God. He was the one who created us. He is the greatest I am. The moment that you start falling in love with the greatest I am, you start falling in love with yourself. Your heart start becoming soft and flesh, and you start becoming so, how can I say? I always say, you fall in love with the love of your life. And I'm not talking about the man. I'm talking about yourself, with God and yourself. And you fall in love in such a way that you discover yourself in such a way that you start respecting yourself, you start taking care of yourself and valuing yourself, and in such a way that everything, I'm going to be telling you, everything around you changes. The energy around you changes. That the dreams that you once have in your heart, they just start coming around, and they just start um, coming out the way that you really want to, and they come realizing, and that's what happened to me. I started discovering my I am. I started falling in love with myself, start forgiving myself, and I started forgiving others, and started realizing that, for example, I could stop taking some medication and started taking care of myself in another way. And it just discovers like that. And that's what I want to help other women and say, don't have this anger or this bitterness or this resentment to others, because this is what is killing you. This is what is making you sick. This is what is making you um, bringing all this negative energy to your life. The moment that you change this, everything around you is going to change. You're going to bring what you really want to your life, even the love of your life. the, the one that you're looking for, you know?
Wonderful. Indeed, this journey of healing ourselves. And also, would you say that we need to accept ourselves as well as we are, and then start working on everything that we want, but from a state of love, right? From a state of peace, without having that anger and that bitterness. At
Exactly.
yeah.
Exactly. And like I tell you, just step on a mirror and start. Um, One of the things is that we are our worst enemy. So start changing that day by day, step by step. Just look at the mirror, and instead of saying, "Oh, look at this pimple that I have here," or "Look at this wrinkle," every time looks at me and I say, "Oh, I have a new wrinkle," and it's like, "Oh no, that's terrible. I'm gonna put Botox." I say, "No, for me is one more wrinkle of laughing. I'm laughing. It's like one more wrinkle of laughing of my life, you know. It's like I'm laughing. This is one more wrinkle of
Wonderful.
being smiling, all the laughing of that I had in my life. So this is the happiness that you have and the enjoyment of life that you have during these years. So look at yourself in the mirror and love yourself. Just go, I love you, kiss yourself, and every time that you see it, it's like, I love you, you're beautiful, you are um if you're looking at yourself, or just look at yourself and say, I am beautiful, I am wonderful, I am lovely, I am. Just remember that the words that you put behind the I am are very powerful. So if you use I am fat, I am ugly, I am, those are one are powerful words. So instead of using those ugly words, use amazing, powerful, positive words. And imagine if you use that every day, every 5 minutes that you look in the mirror for a month, the change is going to be wonderful. So, yes, I want to change us, the women, because we are the pillars of the house.
Yes, I do believe this. I do believe that the feminine energy is the creative one. We not only bring life to this world, but we are also the ones that set the tone for everything, because we are very powerful. And I love this, Yade. You are showing women how to be powerful again, because maybe they once were, but something happened. Like in your case, it was that divorce that got you upset and bitter, but you can have the life of your dreams. And I'm not sure if our YouTube friends can see how beautiful Yadira is. She is glowing. And I remember the first time I met you in Antwerp, you were amazingly shiny, and you had this aura and this energy that I actually said, wow, you are so beautiful, a flawless skin, flawless energy. And I cannot wait for our listeners, and especially women, and why not men? Maybe they want to gift something amazing to their wives, to their lovers, to their girlfriends, and get them in touch with Yadira, because Yade has this amazing way of getting your light shine through physically, because she actually glows, which is something you rarely meet. I have not seen anyone that is more positive and so joyful after having such a challenging, I'm going to call it a challenging life experience, because you have gone through a lot. And I feel so honored to be spreading your message forward. And my dear,
Thank
could you, it's my pleasure.
you. Thank you,
Can
honey.
you maybe tell us if fear has been a motivator for you? How do you see fear now as opposed to how it was before?
Yes, fear. Fear, let me tell you, at the beginning, let me tell you, yes, fear, it was probably at the beginning, it was like keeping me stuck. But now it is something like motivates me. Fear is the push that gives me to keep on going. It's like I am afraid to not make that step that I have to make to go on. So it's the fear push. Because
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you something. Fear is what it's gonna make you change. Because what it's on the next step, it's what it's going to take you to the other side, to the big side. And when you have a dream, I'm going to tell you this. I know that we are all afraid when we have a dream, we're afraid to make that first step. And it's so exciting to make it. And you're like, should I do it or shouldn't I do it? And you're afraid, but do it. Because I'm going to tell you this. God puts you a dream in your heart for a reason.
Yeah.
And when you have that dream in that heart, it's because He's going to make it happen for you. And He has aligned everyone on your path to make it happen, to make it happen. So that fear that you have to make that step is the push for you to make it happen. The moment that you make that step, everything is going to it's going to make it easier. But don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to make that first step. Be afraid to not make it, because then you're going to lose the opportunity that God is putting you on that way, on that path, because that dream, He put it there on your heart, so you will make it happen. So be afraid of not doing what you're supposed to do. So that's it.
What a beautiful perspective, Yade. Yes, I completely agree. If we have a dream, it means that we can actually manifest it, we can create it, because otherwise, why would be given this vision, this desire in our hearts, in our soul? And Yade, what would you say is the most important advice you would have for young women at the beginning of their journeys, maybe as entrepreneurs or maybe as professionals or as mothers? What would you say is the strongest advice for them?
I would say to never give up. Never give up, and don't allow others to push you down. Never allow others to push you down. If they tell you that you cannot do it, that's not the right person in your life. Or just don't listen to them, because you know your worth, you know your value, and you know your dream. And your dream is just few steps for you to make it happen. It's in the power of will, and it's in the power of your will, and only your will, to make it happen. No one else. And if it's in your dream, if it's in your heart, and if it's in your vision, It's only you who can make it happen. It doesn't matter who everybody else is telling you. If you can or you can make it, only it's up to you to do it. So that is my advice to all of you. Don't give up. Don't quit. You can say, okay, I'm going to rest for a while. I'm going to let it rest for a while, but never quit. If it's your dream, make it happen. I had a dream one day and it was this, the magazine. And the next day I say, I'm going to make it happen. And it happened. So when you have a dream, just be afraid of not making it happen. Because when you have a dream, it is going to happen if you really have the power of will. So don't quit and don't give up. That's my advice to all of you. And remember that happiness is within yourself. Nobody else is going to make you happy than yourself. So that's all I want to tell you all.
Beautiful. Yadira, I love it how you said this, to never give up. If you feel tired, rest, but never quit. Don't quit, because if not us are going to make us happy, who is going to make us happy? Because everyone else is busy living their lives, so might as well. We can maybe get busy getting happier and happier each day.
Yes, exactly.
Wonderful. I am very excited for you, my dear Yade, to share with our listeners, with our YouTube friends as well. How can they get in contact with you? Because I am 100% confident that people cannot wait to get in touch with you, to talk more to you, to listen to your amazing live sessions on Facebook, to see your great inspiring posts, to learn from you more. How can they get in touch with you?
They can always look at me on Facebook. They can follow on I Am Magazine on Facebook or on LinkedIn. Yeah, they can find me as Yadira Gonzalez Muñoz. You can find me on all social media, Instagram. So you can find me everywhere as my name, or you can follow me anywhere. So just follow with my name or I Am Magazine or Live Free Today. uh, yes, I think that Roxana can leave my information or my
Yes.
links on the video also, so you can get in touch with me on the coaching, on the magazine, or anything that you want to get in touch with me for. So I will be happy to speak with you, to talk with you, whatever you want to be in contact with me.
Wonderful. And Yade has also written a great book, which I found
Yeah.
on Amazon. And can you please maybe share with us a bit about what you have written there? Because you are going to have a lot of fans after this talk, which, by the way, I will be having all of Yade's links here on YouTube, on Spotify, everywhere on social media, because you need to have Yade very close to you, as close as possible. So please tell us a bit about your amazing book.
Discover who you are to overcome any crisis. So you can find it on Amazon. This book is about discovering your I am. You can dream big, think big, and live big. So you can find this book and read it. It gives you all the little big tips and tricks about why should you discover who you are, be honest with yourself, your personal growth and your beliefs and values, your passions. So it gives you a little bit of how you can define yourself, and this is how you can get a little bit of more information. And I am also giving program on it on this same book, so a coaching program. So if you're interested after reading the book, you can always contact me for getting the coaching program of it. So yes,
Wonderful.
that it's all about.
Wonderful, Yade. I cannot tell you how empowered I feel after our talk. You are simply an amazing, beautiful soul. What fantastic energy. I cannot wait to meet you again, maybe in Belgium, maybe somewhere else, because hopefully the world will be reopening faster and faster. And as my baby girl is growing, I can travel again. Thank God. I
Yes.
am very privileged to have had you as one of my most amazing speakers out there. I truly believe that you are absolutely magnificent, and I encourage everyone to get in touch with Yade, not only for the great inspiration that she can give you, not only for empowerment, but for this self-love technique that you actually make so easy. We are very busy most of the times, and I believe that we all need simple, easy techniques, nothing too complex. And what is easier than starting to love yourself? Because as Yadira said, you love yourself, everything changes around
Yes,
you. You will understand that you yourself are the love of your life. And Yade,
exactly.
correct me if I'm wrong, but if the man, the love of our lives, does not show up, if we ourselves are so in love with ourselves, maybe we won't be that upset if we don't find him too soon, right? What do you think?
It is right. You will not be so upset because you will be having everything that you need. You will be happy
Mhm.
with yourself because happiness is within yourself. And most of the people, or most of us women, are looking like, I'll be happy when I find the man of my dreams, or I'll be happy when I'll buy the house. And or most of us is, I'll be happy when I marry the Prince Charming. But the moment that you find happiness within yourself, you are complete. So that's the moment that you will be in love with yourself, in love with the love of your life, and you realize, I have it all. I don't need anything else.
Wow.
Of course, you will need a man. That's life. But you will have your man. You will find your man because that's the rule of life, and you will have him. But you will be happy within yourself. You do not need someone else to be happy, but you will find your man.
Wonderful, very inspiring, very powerful, Yade. I love you. You are wonderful. I
I
am
love
really
you too.
privileged, very honored. Thank you once again, Yade, and I cannot wait for everyone listening to us and even seeing us live now on YouTube to get in touch with you and start to change their lives for the better. And why do this? Because we only have one life. It's only one
Yes.
life. And this is fortunate, isn't it? Because maybe if we had had 100 lives, we wouldn't be able to appreciate this so much. What do you think,
Yes.
Yade?
Yes, it is true. We only live once, and I'm telling you, I had the opportunity that I had the car accident and I died. I was in a coma for 2 weeks. And when I woke up, I said,
Mhm.
whoa, I had an opportunity to live it again. I'm going to take
Wow.
advantage and live it twice. So the second time, I said, I'm going to take advantage of it every moment. And that's what so many people are not taking advantage of it. I want every woman to be happy and take advantage of it. Be happy. You only live once. Enjoy every day. Wake up and say, oh, I'm alive. I love you. Thank you. Oh, thank you, God. I am alive. I have a headache. Oh, that means I am alive. And thank you. And be grateful. Thank you for this day. It doesn't matter if it was a horrible day. Just be thankful. Thankful because you learned something. You learned something, something that maybe you don't have to do it again. Or maybe that you something that you have to learn that you never know. It's always a lesson. It's always a good lesson not to be a victim, but to be victorious. Just
Beautiful,
remember that.
beautiful. What a nice way of looking things from a different perspective. It's a fresh, new approach. And I have to thank you once again, Yade.
Yes.
This
I
has
love
been
you.
wonderful.
Thank you for having me on your program. I love you. And I hope that next time we see each other, we can hug each
Oh,
other. And
yes.
yes, and thank you for everyone that is listening to me. And I am here to help you. So give me a call, send me a message, and well, here I am. I'm gonna help you out. Find your I am.
Wonderful. Yade, God bless you. And thank you once again.
God bless you too. I love you.
Love you too.